Now, Sweden's Supreme Court threw out a class action lawsuit brought against the state by 300 young people, including climate change activist Greta Thunberg. They're accusing it of climate inaction. Now, the first of its kind in the Scandinavian country, the case demanded that Sweden take action to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to within the limits of what is technically and economically feasible. The Supreme Court has now concluded that the case cannot be taken up for review because a court cannot decide that the parliament or the government has to take any particular action, and that the political bodies decide independently which specific climate measures Sweden should take. However, a spokesperson for Aurora, that's a group of 300 young climate activists, including Greta Thunberg, has said that they will continue fighting.
Aurora will definitely continue fighting to prevent planetary collapses and to hold the Swedish state accountable for their illegal fueling of the climate crisis. The exact legal route that will take is not decided yet, but it's also important to note that the Supreme Court does not close the door for climate cases in Sweden, but it's still possible to bring such a case.
However, the Supreme Court said it did not rule out a climate case could be tried by the courts if it were designed differently, highlighting that it was filed by a group of individuals rather than an association. Now, while a group named Aurora is behind the Swedish lawsuit, it was filed in the name of one individual with some 300 other people joining it. The Supreme Court said it had not addressed how the issue would be assessed if the lawsuit had been brought by an association and if it were limited to the questions of whether the state violated their rights under the European Convention on Human Rights. Now, one of the judges in the case in recent years has said this. Now, in recent years, a growing number of organizations and citizens have turned to the courts to criticize what they say is government inaction on the climate. In December 2019, the Dutch Supreme Court ordered the government to slash greenhouse gases by at least 25% by 2020. Now, this was a landmark case brought by an environmental group.